Let's go.
Today I'm going to be doing a social, or I'm going to be doing a persuasive speech on social interaction and why we think, why it's a must, social interaction, to have it. And can everybody see it? Okay. Alright. When we are more sociable, we are more motivated. By motivated, I mean that when we work together as a group of people and you're more accepted into that position, you're more willing to work and accomplish more things and to be able to do it easier. And then we're driven to do those things easier. We can build buildings together, we can do anything. We feel better and we are more accomplished. Social interaction and the way it can benefit us. It's like Facebook, anything, Twitter, MySpace. That's all I remember. But everything is social media and how everybody can interact with one another and be socially communicated. As humans, we crave social interaction, and loneliness can kill us. We crave it because we want to be more socially interactive with other people. Like when you're at school or at work, have you ever felt like you're just not welcome in the place you're in? And it kills you, doesn't it? It really makes you feel bad to not have that sense of belonging with one another, or to be able to be together with everybody that works around you. And when I say loneliness kills, I mean you age faster because your immune system isn't getting that reaction in your brain. You feel inadequate in all social interactions. Have you ever seen anybody go to McDonald's and not be able to order food? No. But it kills us because if somebody wasn't able to order what they wanted, then how are you going to be fed? How are you going to know what to do or what to say when the time comes? Feeling of uneasiness and awkwardness. And that's how you feel. Is you feel really awkward if you can't talk and be able to say what you want to say to people and get that message across. Brain sensories. In your brain, there's sensories in your brain that will make you feel just like you got punched in the face if you got excluded or rejected by anybody. I know, it feels the same, and those lights that go off in your brain, you know how the scientists can tell when like you got sleep apnea and stuff like that, and the lights in your brain are going off, and the CAT scan and everything. It's the same, and when somebody got rejected or the ball quit getting thrown at them, then those sensories go off, just like they were pushed in the playground and got scraped and hurt. The same. Okay. The facts. We learn better when we're more socially interactive with one another. We learn easier when we're culturally aware. We are able to go into another area instead of where we're from and be able to talk with those people. Like if we go and we do a certain hand gesture that we're used to, I don't know, we could offend somebody and we wouldn't know it because we're not aware and we're not, got that communication going to where we would know and be aware. Like the people in Iran and Iraq where they do all the clothes that cover their face and their bodies. If we go as women into that country, we would be offending everybody. But how are we supposed to know when we're not aware? When we're not being socially interactive with the world around us, we don't know. We live longer because we feel that Because we feel more energetic when someone has accepted us and we feel that sense of belonging with one another. We're happier because we don't have to worry. And can anybody ever tell me a situation they were in or compare their life to something that was like just so hurtful, but it was just emotions? It wasn't like somebody really tortured you or anything like that. Can anybody relate? And you just felt like that? Well, I'll have an example. When I worked at finance, this is the best example. Because there, I just got out of school. I'd graduated with 2 associates. I have all kinds of honors. And my GPA is really high. And then I go there, and they treat me really bad. They won't train me. I have a piece of paper that somebody just signed, and I ask somebody, well, where do I put it now? And they just look at me like I'm talking to myself. So I have to go and ask somebody that's not even in that department at all, and ask them where that piece of paper goes. And they tell me. How do you think that made me feel to go to somebody else that's not even supposed to be training me or anything? It made me feel pretty bad. It made me feel like going home and hiding for the rest of my life, you know? But now, where I work with the ceremonial grounds, and I'm the special events assistant. Man, that's the greatest place I've ever seen in my life, you know? She's the greatest person that I've ever worked with. And then, when I first went over there to work, she would automatically teach me everything. She would show me on the computer what she wanted to do and what she wanted done, and I would just go and do it. And she's like, I don't see why anybody ever say anything bad about you, because you learn fast, you learn quick, you do what I ask you to do, and no questions asked. And how does that make me feel now?
Makes you feel good.
Makes me feel good, yeah. Like I can ask for a better place to work.
Yeah.
Or a better person to work with. And does anybody have any questions while we continue? I need some questions to.
Well, how do we go about basically overcoming this communication barrier and feelings?
I think if we were to research it more and to be able to come up with a plan to work together, because there's scientists already covering it and doing films on little kids and how it is when they get older, because when you start when you're younger, it's really easier to do and to talk, and like opposed from people that go to Cherokee, you know, to people that go to Swain, you know, or Smoky Mountain. They have better communication skills than we do, because we're not really taught, you know, to do presentations or to speak with another. We're just taught to sit there and learn, you know, in Cherokee, and don't speak out of turn. But in Smoky Mountain, they're treated like college students almost. They're treated to grow past what they can do. And if they can talk, then let them talk. Let them exercise what they know and to go above and beyond. And they don't have that accent or that drawback that we have on the reservation. We have that real bad southern drawl. But that's just how we speak and how we talk. And then, does anybody else have any questions to ask me about socially interacting with one another? Alright, there's no questions. This is the conclusion of my PowerPoint and my presentation for persuasive speech. I believe that we need to be culturally interactive with one another, especially when it comes to socially being interactive, because it is important. We need to feel belong to one another. We need to feel like we're not excluded or anything else like that. This is the conclusion. I thank you for being here for me today. that's the